Thank you, and thank you for the kind invitation to give the Ragnar Nordberg honorary lecture at Dagar med Lagar. I would like to start by on a personal note. Ragnar became an FMI honorary fellow in 2019, and this is from the ceremony where he got this honor. Ragnar also served as treasurer while I was the FMI president, and I couldn't have had a better treasurer. And here is also Anita, that we also learned to know through the European Federation for Medical Informatics. Ragnar was very active, and he participated in most of our meetings. This one, I think, is from Istanbul, and you can also see him here as in a profound role, and he is, I would say that he is missed in the FMI community. Having the opportunity to give a lecture in his honor is, of course, a tall order, and I have chosen to focus on capabilities and building for inclusion. The last speaker before your lunch break also talked about health data, and I would say that there are a lot of opportunities in ongoing developments that I'm also sure that Ragnar would have embraced, and I will point to a couple of them using my own research. So I think I would like to say that part of capability building is to come with true resources for patients and health data. If we have more access, control, can use the health data, we will have a very different opportunity. And I would say that e-patients, that most of us are going to be along the road, are equipped, enabled, engaged, and empowered. And they are empowered and engaged with health data. So the ongoing development also with the European health data space is an exciting move in that regard, and it opens for a lot of capability building, and we have to make sure that we should do it for inclusion. I also want to point to the fact of bringing everyone on board. This picture is from MedInfo before the pandemic, where we also focused on the specifics of to broaden the perspectives and women in health informatics. The opportunity, I would say, going forward is data-driven collaborations, and there are different examples. I foresee and that we will see new and novel engagement in and across all constituencies where people use data where they are and where they move. So if I'm, for example, going to Sweden and I'm picking up medication, or I am seeking a health provider, I would have an opportunity to bring data with me. And I could then also make sure that it's a little bit easier in the collaboration with health providers or in getting more specific advice. I think we will see new opportunities in professional and patient collaboration, and also in public and private partnerships where we come together to solve problems that none of us can do on our own. And I'll give an example of that. The opportunity is also to empower. If we are clever and if we are focused, we can provide novel tools for citizens and their networks, which will improve access to information, will also, with the right programs and measures in place, increase the understanding of personal health data. And it's interesting to see actually how many of us, or many of you, also what you do in order to keep overview of health and illness, wellness matters. Of course, excuse me, health literacy and episodes outside of the regular healthcare systems is also an important opportunity. So the data-driven care collaborations we can see as a new, and with improved access to health data and more players on board, we will see new and novel opportunities. This is it's also important to acknowledge that the chain is never stronger than the weakest link. And the paradox, when it comes to personal health information, the paradox persists. So citizens and patients are in most encounters, and is a core actor, but they do not really have good tools. So a lot of this is word of mouth. A lot of health information, health data is presented with word of as conversations and relying on memory. There is not enough robust coordination tools. This is a paradox. We do have also more insight into the personal contributions, and specifically the care between, and I'm particularly interested in the care between care activities and the vigilance. What do we do when we're not within the healthcare system? But can we also then, if we think about care between care and have nice tools for that, make contribute to the daily health and wellness activities? There is an opportunity. There is not just one. There are several. With health data for personal use, we can complement, curate, control, and keep control of who we are sharing this data with. And I think what is coming more and more to the forefront is the cross-border scenarios and the multilingual environment in Europe. So having access to trusted health data across borders, and also having opportunity to look to get information in the language of choice, not just the language of jurisdiction, comes with important opportunities. And I'm foreseeing a personal health data space where relevant support for personal health management is more available and will redress the asymmetrical relationships. There are certain conditions for that. It's trust, it's equity, ethics, and also access to data. So we have the opportunity to harness user value, the citizen, and again, make sure that citizens have access to the information, can use it, reuse it, control their health information. And at the same time, we have to make sure that no one is left behind. And then, of course, from a personal health data use, there are also secondary benefits for the health systems when you active use, that comes in active use and reuse of personal health, personal recorded, curated health data. And of course, I think the COVID pass has really changed how we're thinking of taking of cross-border use and having information along, important information along as we go cross borders. So we have conceptualized and to harness user value as access to curating, visualizing, analyzing, and support healthy living for everyday life challenges. And here is an opportunity. Here is a lot of the capabilities that we can build. I will give you an example. I will give you the example of Gravitate Health, which is an IMI project that I'm coordinating in collaboration with Pfizer. We are 40 partners and also from Sweden. Our mission is to empower and equip Europeans with health information for active personal health management and adherence to treatment. And this is an example of capability development. The consortium is from 15, we are 40 partners, 15 countries in Europe and plus the US. We're about 1/3, we have been active in 2 years and have 3 years to go. And we have a clear ambition of a European start and a global outreach. And you can also see the different competencies and different organizations that we have in the consortium. So we have academe, regulators and product information providers. We have standardization and other important NGOs. We have patient organizations, dissemination and communication experts, healthcare providers and payers, technical expertise, and we have 11 private partners that came in the consortium via FPA. From Sweden, we have Karolinska Institute and Frisk as partners, so we are also active in Sweden in this project. What we are going to do in this project is to try to understand how we can apply an open access digital platform with trusted digital health information to transform how patients access and understand health information and apply this in personal health for adherence to treatment, risk minimization, and quality of life. We work primarily with 3 types of information sources. They are broad. We work with the regulator-approved electronic product information. You all know about the paper in the pack when you get a medication in the pharmacy. This paper is now coming as a digital standard, and we are looking at what we can do to make this experience better for the user. So that's an interesting knowledge resource actually for that we're working with. We're working with EHR data and in particular use the International Patient Summary as a window to curated electronic health record data, and we are looking into other health education material. What we are going to do is to develop a focusing mechanism there where these 3 information sources plus personal preferences and personal goals are taken into consideration, and we'd like to see how we can focus more and give a more relevant information experience. And just to remind you, you see Maria here to the left. You can see her quite robust, non-scalable, paper-based list of medications that she maintains, and make notes and update from time to time. And you can also see her behind one of the product information leaflets that is relevant for her. And this is a 2-page, and it's actually only in Norwegian. So it's quite a lot of information, and we are trying to see if we can make this a little bit smarter. And then make it digital. So the electronic product information is, we're looking at how we can define and benefit from a common structure for medicinal product information and improve the patient experience, make product information more accessible, and support interoperability across the international healthcare community. So we are very active in creating HL7 FHIR resources in this space, and are looking at how we can make these durable but non-scalable strategies a little bit more modern. And for this, we have extensive user involvement, and are exploring different concepts. So some of the work that we have done so far is to have some common representations, personas, to define the GLENS methodology, and we have also created mock-ups for end-user tools. We have looked into multilinguality, and that's an interesting aspect, or an interesting discussion, because for centrally approved medications there are translations, but for the local or national approved that most people use, they often come in just one language. So that's a challenge, and we have to see how far we are able to get in that regard. But we have demonstrated that it is possible. We've also demonstrated that we can focus information in the right low corner. We'll see, based on information about the user, we have highlighted and suppressed information. And in this use case, it is an older person, an older woman, that are using other medications and have lactose intolerance. So then with that information, we are focusing the information on interactions with other medications, and also pointing out and focusing that this medication contains lactose, so you should maybe be careful. We have also, the gray parts is suppressed. When you look at it in a bigger screen, you can see the text, but it is suppressed, and this is about pregnancy and breastfeeding, which is maybe not so useful or irrelevant when you're 65 or plus, 65 plus. And for this we will see a global HL7 FHIR standard for EPI in early next year. So what are we seeking to achieve? We want to support activities with relevant information for topics at hand, support the coordination and management in care between care, and a very important activity in the care between care is to manage your medications and take your medication. And we believe that improving access and will help to drive adherence, and also to improve quality of life. We want to support activities to be safe at home and also drive this towards prevention, early intervention to ensure quality and postpone any dwindles or postpone any other problems. We are also we're looking at how we can support personal health management with useful smart visualizations that appreciate also personal information. So we're looking at how we can incorporate some real world data into this picture and having an attention to digital competencies, health literacy, and making sure that we contribute to co-create my health history. So all of us are equipped with relevant information for the journey that we're in. Going forward, I think we are also revisiting this compass. There is a lot of issues or a lot of different versions of compass. In this case, I would like to say that the true north here is to become an expert in your own life, and then we are looking at how to engage, empower, how to enact, evolve, educate, enable, and evaluate different sources. And I would say also that citizens require resources to benefit from and be part of the digital health transformation for trust, for health and well-being, and to maintain trust and integrity while designing and deploying care between care tools. So we need tools also that can be used at our own discretion when we are managing our own health and illness matters. So I think that was what I had, and I leave you with this thank you note, thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Anne. It's always so interesting to listen to you, and I'm pretty sure that Ragnar is very proud of you, wherever he is now hearing this presentation. I also love I mean, I've been listening a couple of times to Gravity Health, and every time I understand more and more. And I like the approach of being individualization for patients in that sense also. That seems to be very important. Otherwise, I mean, we are all in an overflow of information. And I also liked your expression, care between care. Because for me, that is also about interoperability. You know that I used to say interoperability is the things in between. And that's nobody is really interested in. And therefore, it's so interesting to see that we start to work now more strictly on care between care, not just the meeting in the hospital, but to support them. And I also loved your way of saying we all will be an e-patient. And I have said before, I don't want to be a patient, but I will accept to be a e-patient. And for me, I think the message you really gave here is that the E might stand for equipped, that we actually have the tools and services we are needed to take care of this between cares. So very, very grateful for your presentation here, and hopefully we will hear more about this. And for you out there listening to me and Anne is also with me in organizing the Medical Informatics Europe next year in Gothenburg, together with Vitalis. So we have an interesting program, and we will bring up a lot of the things we have been discussing during Dagar om Lagar on that conference also. So and with that,
yes. We plan to be there with Gravitate Health.
Yep, perfect.
So Looking forward to discuss more with you then. Thank you for the kind words, Lars. And I should say that also Ragnar has been a huge inspiration for us in Norway, and he is also shared generously his expertise and his insights in organizing conferences. We couldn't have had, we benefited enormously. So we are also grateful to Ragnar on that regard and in that regard. So yeah.
I fully agree with you. The thing that I know that Ragnar didn't like, it was the digital meetings. He was a real social person.
Yeah.
So with that said, I give you an extra digital applause, and you can go to bed again and sleep for some hours here. And for the rest of you, continue your lunch, and we will be back here at 13, eller klockan 1.